Okay, let's get started.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
So yeah, this is Redesign Axeil Edition, which means that's the newer one, not the old one. And that's basically about it. There's a bunch more features, but we'll get into those as we play them. Of course, there's a few changes with regards to physics, as you might have noticed. Well, might not have noticed. It might take a moment. But I suppose while we wait for this intro to keep going, I'll feel like I should probably take a drink. My throat has suddenly gone very dry. And I'll stick myself in one of the stream rooms. And I'll just check to make sure I'm talking. I'm not talking. What is going on? Now tell me what's going on. Can I tell when I'm talking? Poke poke. 1 2 1 2. This corner's not picking up my microphone. Why is it not? Poking. Nope. It's not doing anything, I don't know why. Maybe it's the method I'm using. I hope I didn't break it just then. I'm going to restart Discord. Just do this on the other computer without having to worry about it too much. So yeah, once again, Sarah Station is under attack. Whoosh. Am I talking now? No? Yes? Something to that effect, maybe? It clearly is not working, I'm not sure why. Or maybe I can't tell. Sometimes I wonder if I'm actually streaming or not. Testing. Okay, it's definitely not picking me up. I'm not sure what's going on. I've muted myself. Of course. I forgot to unmute myself. Luckily, it doesn't seem to have impeded too much, but let's get going. So we have our runs, we have our jumps. As you can tell, you don't fall like a rock like you used to. At least not right away. It's a gradual increase to the falling like a rock speed, but yeah. That is that, as they say. I fiddled around to try and get this going in a relatively nice looking way. I hope it's worth it. It's hard to tell. Also, I did not take that drink I said I would. Ah well, you'll have to wait until some other time when there's a lull in gameplay. Anyway, at the end of this hallway, there's the Metroid. What happened to all the people on it? Oh, it's Ridley. Just open fire. And there's a bit of a change in that Ridley will now have less health the more you damage it this early on. So there is a useful reason for actually hitting Ridley this early on. Me being the greatest Metroid player ever, getting hit by everything, and then some. I believe in previous versions of Axeil Edition, by doing this, you'd actually increase the amount of attack that Ridley could do to you, but I think that was removed since players were really complaining that there was too much of a trade-off. Like, not everything has to be a trade-off. For every good change, it doesn't have to be a bad one, so... yeah. Also, the escape timer has been altered. Back to 1 minute. Bit more forgiving than the 30 seconds that it gave last time. Also, you know in the top right corner that the map has been redesigned a little bit so that you can actually tell where the room joins come together. So yeah, that's all fun. I think there are a few other changes that players don't really like all that much as well, but I don't really have the specifics on me. So, drink. Whew. And onto the planet. We enter the area that is Criteria. Apparently Restream's telling me I have 0 viewers whatsoever. I don't know about that, but maybe that's true. Anyway, I'll just turn on the hint thing, and it just helps direct you where to go if you're a new player. Like I am, at least in the case in that I haven't actually played through this game all the way. But yeah, we can't go this way. Missile door on the way. But yeah, what Drew has done to this area, it's rather pipish. And also, we don't have the wall jump right now, as was seen in regular old redesign. The old redesign, I suppose you can call it. Not that it's bad, because, well, the old redesign was fairly solid. It's just that, well, it was a bit of a slog more than anything. You couldn't really maneuver yourself with what was the physics and everything. So let's just run about and see if we can do anything. The first thing to do is to get bombs. And I say that and I'm incorrect because the first item is the morph ball, then the missiles. Can't go that way. So yeah, as far as things go, there's still quite a bit of backtracking as far as backtracking is concerned, and I'm pretty sure Drew's closed off a whole bunch of sequence breaks. Also, I need to resist the urge to hold down any of the triggers since they contain the rewind and fast forward functions. So if I charge it as just right, Samus will automatically morph into ball form, and if you do it just right, you can get her in a mock ball speed kind of way. Fortunately, I'm not going to pull that off, and it's too much of a hassle trying to, so yeah. New morph ball animation. New sprite for it as well. Doesn't look bad. I mean, it looks a little strange when you compare it with the rest of the shading that Samus has. It's like this versus that. But it's not a big deal. I'm not sure if I like the one in the classic redesign better. Or old redesign, or whatever you want to call it. The other one. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of wires and pipes around here. And in here, we have our first missile pack. So we've acquired morph ball, we have missiles, and you can go fairly fast with the missiles. In mothball form, I mean, rather. It's a late night. What can I say? It's also kind of warm. So I see we've triggered something. Not that was important. I didn't plan on doing anything crazy anyway. It's too close to Christmas to be doing anything crazy. We'll just kill all these gamers and restock up on missiles. We can't go that way anymore for some reason. I think I eliminated all the enemies, so I'm not sure what's stopping me. Enemies take a little few less hits to kill, so that's all nice. It speeds things up, so definitely improvement in the whole slog of things. Power bombs. Probably guarded by power bomb blocks. I wouldn't be surprised. Also, I think that the power-ups, the energy pickups rather, they have been increased since enemies just do more damage than usual. And over here we have the map room. And it shows us everything. There is a lot of map to cover. A lot of map. And it kind of has a sort of design that's kind of inspired from the original Metroid, I feel. And redesign. Because this is Redesign Axeil Edition. I'm not sure if the microphone picked whatever that was up. Anyway, let's find ourselves back to the ship via this passage. Unfortunately, Morphball Lock is a returning feature. And, you know, with some optional items that use that thing, I'm not really a fan. Let's see where we are. Looks like there's a few items, but, you know, it's probably unlikely that I'll be able to get up there in the first place. So let's just give up instead. It seems that Samus has quite a bit more forward momentum when she jumps, rather than being just a rock. I mean, I guess I understand why you have Morphball locking here, and it kind of inspires a bit more adventurous design, but, you know, it just feels too restrictive when you're in Morphball and you want to unmorph and you can't do it. I have no idea what it sounds like, so if there's audio problems, you better let me know now. Because otherwise, we're just gonna have to live with it. And it's gonna plague the whole stream recording. Also, I can't go through there just yet.
Yo,
Hello.
What are you up to?
Redesign Axeil.
Are you actually streaming?
Hold on a sec, I'm gonna boost your volume.
Are you actually streaming?
What was it?
Are you actually streaming?
I should be. If I'm not, then we have some problems.
Well, I mean, I guess you're using Hitbox then, right?
I mean, I'm using Restream, so you should be able to see me via a bunch of services.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't say you're streaming on Discord.
It never does.
It's weird.
Anyway, I'm just crawling my way through criteria right now.
Sounds fun.
Just heading my way down to grab wall jump boots. Ever since I played the original ones, like, I'm not sure if I've ever felt like I was in the mood to play it, so I was like, I'll just do it. I won't really have much time during most of Christmas anyway to do any streaming, so it's like, if I'm gonna do it, now's the time.
There's no time like now. I'm gonna continue my Final Fantasy V random run I started yesterday.
Radio. Yeesh, it's too warm in here. I need to turn on the aircon. And back again. Hopefully the aircon will start cooling the room. Yeah, it's a bit toasty.
Yeah.
Just entering Brinstar. Just about now. So how much do you like the Axeil edition?
Dude, I dislike both versions of redesign.
Right? Well, I know I have a good conversation to make there. Any features that are better or worse?
I mean, Axeil added some good features like the shortcut elevator and stuff. But I don't know, like...
You don't feel that it's for you, given everything.
Yeah. I mean, the problem I have with redesign is that redesign had a lot of design issues in the level design. You're like, you never know where you need to go, and you have huge amount of explorable space, so it takes forever to get anywhere.
Yeah, it's like you get a whole lot of large levels and all that. You just look at the map and go, gee, that is huge.
Yeah. So my problem with what Drew did in Axeil version was that instead of fixing his level design so it's more obvious where you need to go, he just put in a hint system that tells you where you need to go.
Yeah, it goes part of the way to mitigating, you know, if a player's completely clueless, but it's not. It's a solution that is not implemented in the design of the world. It's more of a afterthought.
Yeah, and the problem with that is that it cheapens the exploration. I mean, if you're just following a checklist on where to go, you're not really exploring on yourself.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there are other things I dislike about redesign as well, so... But, I mean, I've never gotten through it entirely.
Yeah, it's like... I think the first time I properly got through it was the race a few months ago, and that was hell. And that was the original redesign.
Original.
Yeah.
Supposedly Torian is worse in the new version.
Yeah, I've read there's something infamous about the more puzzle-like nature of the Metroids that you find in Turian.
Well, there's that, but there's also a bunch of fucking death lasers everywhere. I saw Sacred play it, and it's like... You're constantly in this maze, and you unlock one thing, and then you have to go back and unlock the other thing that unlocked. It's just a huge maze.
And lots of gates and keys and all that nonsense.
Yeah. and
that's basically what it
overlapping
is.
rooms.
Hmm. Anyway, just coming up to Spore Spawn right now.
Nice. I'm doing the Fire Castle Escape in Final Fantasy V currently.
Hmm.
Have you played Final Fantasy V?
Not really. I think I've seen it, a few videos of it. Because
Right, well,
they run a
there's-
charity event for, like, Final 5
Yeah,
Fiesta.
Final Fantasy V Fiesta. They run that every year.
Yeah.
There's a section where a castle is blowing up and you have time to escape it, but there's also a bunch of chests everywhere which you probably want to loot.
Oh yeah.
And since I randomized all chest content, that is especially true because I might get some good stuff.
Hmm. Sounds like a bunch of fun. I might play it
Sure
sometime.
is. I mean, in my opinion, it's the best Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, it's like from what I've seen compared to, you know, most of the Final Fantasies out there, the plot is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I played for the gameplay, not the plot.
Dang it, Spore Spawn opening itself just above my jump height.
Hey, at least you're not playing Legacy where there's no place to dodge in the sports spawn room.
Yeah, I'm not... You know, I have mixed feelings about hacks that retain too much of the original physics. They just feel odd.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the fact that I've gotten so used to the different physics that other hacks had to offer.
Probably.
Yeah. It's like the last real one that I got a whole bunch of enjoyment out of would have had to been Hyper Metroid.
Hyper Metroid is great.
Yeah, and still is based off Project Base, which is, you know, a lot more floatier, a lot more quicker than
Yeah.
most physics.
I have some complaints about Hyper Metroid, but for the most part, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, the way that the, you know, some of the choices that they made.
Yeah. Like, there's one section in early Meridia where you need to drop down a crumble block in order to get a new item in the progression. But the problem is, and I mean, the crumble block is there to lock in that location after you get it, which is, you know, standard design practice. But it seems like it's a return point, a one-way exit back. So I was hesitant to enter that area. So that was kind of problematic, but I guess that's a minor thing.
Yeah, I think, like, probably the biggest complaint that I really have would be the point at which you get power bombs. You're basically just running around mostly blind to try and find them.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that Meridia?
It's like, I can't remember.
Right under wrecked ship.
It's like, I can't remember it's like when for sure you get it for the first time, but there's only like a handful of locations where you can actually go get it. So, yeah. It felt kind of a bit more restrictive, whereas, you know, most of the rest of the game, it's like you felt like you were sequence breaking everything when you could find an item out in the open.
Yeah. I also did like Golden Teresa way earlier than intended, so that was
Yeah.
nice.
Just finished getting the wall jump boots.
Nice.
Yeah. I think from what I've read, it was a item that Super Metroid originally had as a beta thing, but they kind of removed it.
I wouldn't know about that. It's nothing I know of, but it might be true.
Either that or it's the long beam. I can't remember any of those exact details.
Meaning... I know there have been a couple of people who've been wanting to implement long beam. I know
Yeah,
Yatis made a version where like the beam falls to the floor without long beam.
That sounds a bit more interesting than having it simply just disappear.
Yeah. So it functions more like, there's gravity to it.
Yeah. It's like, it kind of makes sense. Like, gravity affects Samus, doesn't it? Yeah, it's like, why shouldn't it happen to beam weapons as well?
Yeah.
I can imagine it being used for a few puzzles or something. Much like the unused reflector enemies.
Which were used for puzzles in redesign.
They were. Probably see it in a bit once we get back to Criteria.
See, I randomized enemy stats, and there's this enemy that casts a spell, but it doesn't have any MP for it in this version.
Right. So you're playing a randomized version?
Yeah, this is randomized Final Fantasy V.
Ah.
It's like all the player classes are randomized, and a bunch of stuff like that.
Man, I would hate to play a randomized version of Redesign, if there was such a thing.
Oh man, that would be awful.
I mean, on one side you could get the super ultra overpowered items early, but then you'd have no goddamn clue where to go next.
Yeah.
And on top of the fact, you don't already know where to go. Just seems like a very bad idea. I should probably play another randomizer at some point. I've been meaning to, but just haven't gotten around to doing it.
Wait, he only has 200 HP. Rip. That was easier boss fight than I expected it to be.
Well, when you have a randomizer, things can be random.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hope you don't run into a regular enemy that you can't escape from and has all the HP in the world.
Oh man, I run into, there's this wolf pack enemy. Well, it's like, it comes in a pack where there's 5 of them in one encounter, and they're very good at backstabbing you on the field. So you get a back attack, and there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
Usually they're they have fairly high attack, but they usually don't have any health at all. They were super tanky in this randomizer seed.
Oh, the luck.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm okay with in Redesign Axeil Edition is the auto wall jump thing that he added.
I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, to be honest, but
yeah, it's just when you press up against a wall and just press the opposite direction, you just automatically do it, compared to having to fumble around with the tight timing of the original. I mean, I think Drew made single wall jumping very difficult now compared to the original redesign, but I think I'm okay with this trade-off.
yeah. Alright, let's check out my new jobs. Oh, I finally got the freelancer job. See, you start with a random job too, and I didn't start with freelancer. It's usually the default job.
Yeah, I've heard that the job system can be very broken, given the extensiveness of jobs.
If you know how to abuse it, yeah. Of course, I randomized which order you get the jobs in, but also everything about them. So they are kind of completely new and give absurd
They're completely
abilities.
unpredictable.
Yeah. So I level up, what's a good example? Right, I leveled up Geomonster, which is a sort of spell class, and I got the Dragon Jump ability.
Well, it's to be expected, I guess.
Yeah.
Just finished going back to the ship. And now we're on our way to get bombs. We'll actually see those reflectors that you talked about earlier.
The Yobs have like randomized equipment compatibilities too, so some of them have really weird setups.
Hmm.
Catch. I have no interest in that.
Path.
Wait, I don't. Thanks for that.
Just passed by one of the shortcut elevators just now. It's in that one place where a super missile used to be kept, but not there anymore.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I should actually tell people I am streaming. That's a good idea.
Yes, I suppose it is. Hey, look at us, we're both streaming!
I mean, most people are probably asleep because reasons.
Yeah, I completely do not keep track of any time zones at all, so... Hence why I chose to stream at this time, because, well, there was nothing else for me to do.
It's like 3 in the afternoon here.
That's fair.
Let's see, are you British? Or...
I'm in Australia.
Oh!
It is 1:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
Given it's Christmas
Basically,
break.
it's like around 7 or 8 in the morning in the US. So most people are probably sleeping.
So maybe we can expect MSG to be on the stream. Totally expect him to be there. I'm currently disappointed in Metroid MSG.
When aren't we?
When we're going, damn it, at Drew. Damn it, Drew. At least in the redesigned reflector puzzle, you don't have to jump up and shoot a missile. You just crawl into the morph passage.
And that's good.
And we enter the bomb room and collect ourselves our bombs.
Man, I love it when endgame items are sold in stores really early on.
Yep, it's like when you find plasma beam super early in the randomiser.
Yeah, I was doing Zelda 2 randomizer and I found the magic key in like the first cave I went into. Of course, you don't want to play Zelda 2 randomizer. It's awful. I didn't beat it because fuck that shit. I don't know, I guess I just have a huge fascination in randomizers.